there. This is Yasmin.
And this is Sukaina.
We are two friends who were passionate about having authentic and God centered conversations.
We are delighted to have you with us on this exciting journey.
Welcome to Heartful Insights.
Try to answer the last question for today's episode which is how can tawakkul be applied in everyday life? If you have some advices, Yasmin, that could summarize what we talked about today, please go ahead.
Hmm. That's a very, very big question, but I'll try and answer it in short. I would say number one is to ask God to grant you tawakkul in your heart because we know by now that tawakkul is really a matter of the heart. It's something that takes place in your heart. It's not something like external that you can just nurture and make grow. Like it is a muscle, but it takes place in the heart. And to me, God is the only one who can help us maintain our hearts in a good, healthy place. So I would say make it your daily dua, your daily prayer, so that God can help you rely on Him constantly, right? So, like, that would be number one. Number two is whatever you are faced with, like literally in your head, try to minimize that situation. Try to shrink it, see it with your own eyes, and then see yourself with God. And God is like wrapping you up in a bubble. He's protecting you and looking over you, and He is literally big. Like, I find this exercise extremely powerful. Like, before going to bed, you shrink that situation, you shrink that dream of yours, that dream that seems so out of reach or too good to be true. Shrink it, because this is what Islam is all about. We are not supposed to idolize anything or anyone over God. And anytime we find ourselves doing that, we're going to suffer, we're going to have panic attacks, because this is how we've been created. Our hearts are not made to idolize other people or other things. So, whenever we get into this vicious circle of feeling panicked, feeling anxious, feeling unsure, we have to know that this is a signal for us to really give power to whom it truly belongs, and that is God. And so, this mental exercise I find really helps me because I am a visual person. So I would say these two
Yeah.
things. And number three, be gentle with yourself, because the advice that we see out there,
Mhm.
and this is something that I used to struggle with as well. It's either you do it very well or you're back to point zero, like the two extremes. Either you have to have like perfect faith for your tawakkul to be real tawakkul, or I mean you're all the way back to the start,
Mm,
which is not true, which is absolutely not true.
true.
Like, to me, even we can have tawakkul even when we break down,
Of
and this is
course.
how merciful God is. We just have to watch our heart. Like, we could be crying, we could be like panicking and having like a breakup in front of God,
Mhm.
and like crying out loud. But in our heart, we know that these are just emotions. They're
Mm,
gonna pass. I'm just letting it all out. But I know, even though I'm freaking out right now, I'm not identifying with it, because I know, God, that you're watching me right now and you already solved this for me. And
yeah.
I'm just leaving my human nature. Like, this state of mind is different from someone, let's say, who breaks down, but who feels like a victim, who feels like this is never gonna work. Is God even here to listen to me? Is God even
Mm,
wanting me out of this situation? Like, this is a huge red flag, and this is
yes.
something that has to do with like something that has to do with faith.
Mm-hmm.
and we should really revise it.
Yeah.
So that's the distinction. You are allowed to feel sad. You are allowed to feel whatever you feel, but never let yourself dwell on the fact that you're a victim and that it's all done. God is not with you. God is not going to help you. Now, that is a dangerous zone to be in.
Yeah.
So I would say these three things: be gentle with yourself, like shrink the people, shrink the situations in your head, and constantly pray.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, forgot
Yeah,
to
definitely.
the power of
Those are really
tawakkul.
very important points. We can never talk enough about these things. In my point of view, I want to give something a bit practical, and I want to add a very important point. I just realized that I've been thinking about the first part, as you have to do your part. You have to do whatever it is that is under your responsibility in order to achieve whatever you want to do, and surrender to God. And there is something very important in that point, which is the fact that the things that you have to do are both physical and spiritual. And you actually talked about it's a muscle that you need to train. And that is very true. Your religion or your spirituality or your relationship with God is something you need to work on. It's something that grows, it's something that flourishes, and it's something that gives you peace more and more. The more you practice it, the more it gives you peace, the more you practice tawakkul. And this is where I'll actually advise people to do some exercises I personally did. It's important to actually invest in your relationship with God. And one of the the things that you need to do is, of course, plan, do the things that you have to do in order to achieve your goal. Everything that is physical should be done, but everything that is spiritual also needs to take place in your life. And for example, today you are going to work. This is a very normal example and a very simple one. And most of people go to work or go to school or whatever. And I want you to start actually practicing this with small things, because tawakkul isn't only when you have big problems. It can start with, okay, today I want to have a beautiful day. Or today I want to go to school and I want to be happy and I want to work well, or I want to make new friends. It could be something really silly. And I really mean it, because silly is actually very subjective, but it can be anything. And do before going out, you say that I have to do my part, which is first set the intention, feel it in my heart, know that God is with me, and feel like it's going to be a beautiful day. Or today I'm going to meet great friends, people with integrity, people who are really nice, people who have the same purpose as me. I don't know. And it can really be anything, something small that you can see on the short term. And you can dress well, you can be very nice, you can be smiling. That's something physical you can do about it, for example. And, smiling to people in order to invite them to actually come talk to you, for example. And actually, the part where you feel like you've done it all, let tawakkul show you its magic. And this actually is what trains the muscle. Because if we're going to talk about it from a scientific point of view, you should always start with small things in order to create the neuropath. And the neuropath doesn't know or doesn't make the difference between something huge or something small, because in the end of the day, it refers to the fact that you wanted something in your heart and you've seen it happen. So it actually only memorizes the fact that it's something you wished for and you only visualized, but it happened in real life. And it actually reaffirms the fact that things that you want to do actually do come true. So it's really a great thing, because it's a way for you to train your brain, but most importantly, it's a way also for you to train your heart and to see how God is close to you, even truly in the silliest thing. And I think this could be a really good way for you to start this. I can't give enough examples, but you can really do it in every area, which can be studies, career, relationships. You can set an intention, put a clear plan, and do whatever you have to do. One of the other things I would really advise people to do, and I know that it changed personally my life, is the fact that you need to actually do your researches about Islam. You need to do your researches about God. You need to know Him more. For example, let's start with something really basic. Start with the name Al-Wakil. What does Wakil mean? What does it refer to? Look for the verses in the Quran that talk about tawakkul or al-wakil, because these things are actually, again, coming getting back to the point where you need to invest in your religion before it really flourishes and it gives you this permanent peace. It starts with those small details because unfortunately, we came to learn everything about Islam from people, and even more now because with social media, anyone can take the camera and tell you anything, and it can be about Islam, it can be about anything, and you will trust him because now it's really hard to actually filter right from wrong. But your superpower is that the Quran, and the superpower of Islam more specifically is the fact that you don't need someone to actually go and get to know God. Set the intention, invest your time, and you can start with something really small. You can be really like 15 minutes a day. Every day I'll just read one of God's names or one of Allah's names and just read the meaning of it. If I have a matter or if there is something specific, let me read about it. Go to the Quran, read directly from the Quran. I'm not telling you that you're going to understand everything or that everything is going to be so clear, but trust me, in my experience, and I know your experience too, Yasmin, the more you will read it, the more you feel that your heart is open to it, and the more you'll understand. And there is nothing wrong about reading, not understanding, and making research and seeing what people think about it, people who actually studied Sharia, and read and see what means to you. Even in the Quran, I don't remember the verse. It actually refers to the fact that the wisest people are people who read many informations and choose the best out of it. This is the only way for you to actually build a relationship with God, because we can say so many things and we can give all the advices that we can, but your relationship with God or relationship or with the religion and with Islam is something only you can build, and it's going to be unique to you as long as your heart and intentions are right. So I hope this was helpful. We tried to summarize it as much as we can, which is not our really strongest asset. We talk a lot and sometimes we get out of subject, but we really try to summarize everything in this episode. I hope it was beneficial for you. And please do not hesitate to leave comments about your experiences, about maybe if you have something to add. It's always really nice to actually exchange with you and hear your experiences. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next episode.
Yay. See you. Looking forward to that. Thanks,
Good
guys. Thanks for listening.
Goodbye, Yasmin.
Goodbye.